All right, what's up, traders? You just got a stimulus check on, I think, the 17th or something like that. So the question is, what the hell do you do with it? Let's say you already have a job. Let's say you already have money somewhere else that you don't actually need to live off of it. A lot of you guys do need to live off of it, and I feel sorry for you. But some of the other guys who don't need to do that, let's figure out what you want to do with it to actually turn that 1,400 into 14,000. Options for you right off the bat here, guys. Basically, there's a couple of things that you can do. I think you could either invest it, or you can look for some sort of term of trading with it. Now, if we go into the trading world, and this is going to really require you to actually be profitable, what you could go ahead and do if you are profitable is you could just throw it into an account. That's not what I would suggest. What I would then suggest what you do is use that 1,400. FTMO has just come out with a 200K account that you can get. So let me just pull up the chart here and let's go to FTMO. Right, looking at the 200K account, we have multiple accounts. You used to just only be able to do the 100. 200K, guys, if you are a profitable trader, this is €1,000 now, is what you got to pay for it. You'll have an extra $100 left over. You can go to McDonald's, something like that. So that's what you should do. If you are a profitable trader, you should go ahead, get FTMO, get funded. That's my suggestion. If you guys are not already, that's a great thing to use your money on, and then you can actually make way more money with that way. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about where should you invest your money, because I'm assuming most of you aren't profitable right off the bat here. You're going to want to know how to flip that 1,400 into 14,000 relatively quickly. So let's look at a couple crypto coins, because that's what I'm thinking is the best bet here. So I'm just going to quickly talk about if you want to, in terms of invest it, there's the check and 10x that way, because we want to find a project that's going to be a 10xer. Or if you're actually a profitable trader, this is what I would suggest in other terms. But I suggest that most of you guys actually invest it for that terms, and we're going to look for a way for you to get 10x realistically. All right, guys, if you're new to crypto here, this is CoinMarketCap. You can see all the coins sorted by their market capitalization, and a lot of these coins are not going to be the ones that are going to 10x in the next year. So we want to look for something that's going to turn you into 1,400 into 14,000 within the next year, because we really want to flip that money if you don't need that 1,400 right now. So what we want to see is we want to look for a good project here, somewhere along the lines of something that's going to be able to 10x, right? And a lot of these are not going to be able to 10x in this year. I'm thinking the big coins here, Cardano, Ethereum, Bitcoin, we might get another 3x, something like that within the next year, because the bull market, let's say, is roughly half over. Just say roughly. You guys don't need to argue with me. Stop arguing. I can already hear the dislikes being hit, that you're not going to turn your Bitcoin into, 100 million this year. I'm sure of it. Right. So then we have some projects that I'm really advocating as something like Chainlink, that we could get a 10x on this one. We're turning that into 120 billion. That would make a lot of sense here. We would bring us up to, a third place, something like that. That would be kind of pushing it, right? If this one was then able to do another 3x, we'd be kind of tied up with Cardano. This is something that it's going to be possible to get another 10x on Chainlink. And let's also just look at the charts here, just so that we can kind of estimate, right? So first of all, in terms of Chainlink to a Bitcoin evaluation, we're currently in a very drawdown period here. We want to be looking at kind of these peaks to get back to. And let's say that we actually break these highs just a little bit in this market cycle in this year. So we're not going to do anything at least absolutely ridiculous, but we can assume that we can get back to the highs, right? So if we do that, we're looking at about a 2x, 3x type thing. Maybe we do a little bit more there. So that would then mean that the Bitcoin's price would also have to get up to about a 3x in order for us to get a 10x on that link investment. So let's look if we think, okay, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, I think the projection within this next year would be possibly another 3x, maybe 2x, something like that. So it's possible, because I'm thinking, if you guys have watched my videos before, we're looking at about 150 as the absolute peak for this year, for this market cycle, right? So we think that it's maybe possible that Link is going to be able to get to that point. I think it's a very, very safe bet, and this is something that's going to be a very low risk. So that's going to be your first option here in terms of the safest option if you're looking for something that's basically not going to make you lose your money, but possibly get you a 10x return. Now, guys, you already know my opinion on Dogecoin. This thing is absolutely ridiculous, and you know it's only going to 10x if Bitcoin 10x's. It's as simple as that. You guys can fight me in the comments. Again, downvotes coming, I know. So another project I'm looking at is AVE, and it's something I actually sent up in my signal group here. It's relatively low on the market cap here, and if we were to get a 10x on the market cap, it would bring us up to roughly low top 10s, right? Let's say, because these are all going to be increasing as well. So we could get that, and there's been a lot of backing on AVE, right? This is a project that I do really like. Something like Avalanche would also be decent right around that area. Let's look at the AVE project right here. So AVE in respect to Bitcoin, right? So let's just look at how it's going to blast off, and we're seeing to get those highs again. Mind you, it is currently in a massive bull market here, so we could expect even higher highs, maybe a 3 to 4x on something like that. And that's just using, you know, a rough projection here. I'm not going into crazy details. So let's look at AVE on the USD chart. Again, clear sky here, guys, and there's no reason to believe that this is going to stop anytime soon. So there's no reason, there's no previous consolidation, anything like that, that's going to actually hold us back. Perfect. So this is going to give us maybe an extra little bit of oomph. It's got a potential to grow up a little bit more in respect to these other coins than Link does, but it's a little bit of a riskier project, right? The other option you guys could go down is if we're looking for something like Radium. Guys, I already made a video on Radium. I think Radium is going to actually do absolutely nuts, but it's a much riskier project if you want to go down that risky route, because it's very, very new. This is something that I think is going to be possibly shooting for even up to 100x, 50x, things like this, but we just don't know because there's not really any data on it, but it's simply based off of a fundamental analysis that I'm using that I think the project owners are going to do super well with. So realistically, I gave you guys a couple options. I gave you something that's kind of risky, and I gave you a couple that are, you know, I think the peaks might be around 10x, but you might not quite get that, something like AVE or Link or something like that. So what I would like to look at is maybe something that has a good chance of getting 10, 20x, something like that. And I think it's something called RSR. So if we just search up RSR here, rights reserve, we have it quite low on the market cap here. Still, we get a 10x, that's going to still be very, very low, right? We scroll all the way up here, we're still not even going to be in that top 10. And RSR project is absolutely unreal. This is something that I've been invested in already, and I've already kind of hit an 80x on personally, and it's still low on the chart. I got in super early. Let's look at the RSR chart. RSR has just gone completely bonkers straight up, and this is when I invested back in February last year, but there's no end in sight. So what we might want to be doing is look for a brief pullback here. Don't quite spend your money quite yet. RSR, we're also looking at a massive growth on the respect to Bitcoin here. We can still pull up another 65% there just to get back to those tops, and it's really bottomed out and shown a lot of bullishness here, right? Mind you, again, there's not much data printed, so we're probably going to be breaking these highs, and we're going to look for a little bit more here. RSR is something that's going to be largely based off of market cap, and we can easily continue to break up because it's such a brand new strong token. Another couple options that I'm interested in, guys, if you guys want to look into yourself, is QNT, Ocean, Cody. These are all smaller projects that are all similar to RSR. You guys can look into them yourself. That's all I want to talk to you guys about. I just gave you a couple different projections of things that you can look for and what we'd be looking for here. Please look at those market caps there for those three, QNT, Cody, and Ocean, and then see how those are going to grow in respect, and then look at the US dollar and look at the Bitcoin price. You guys can figure it out on your own, see what I just did there, and you guys can learn. All right, guys, that's absolutely everything. If you guys are interested in joining a Signal group, link in the description where we're trading crypto and Forex. If you guys want to join a free group, there's also a link in the description for there. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time.
Listen.